time has come. For 300 years, we prepared, we grew stronger. While you rested in your cradle of power.
So I don't think that it's an understatement to say that Doctor Who is a complete trash fire. It's really bad. We're going to get into the drama and a little bit of recap of what's going on because it's just worth talking about. It's fun. It's fun to talk about stuff that, you know, tries to get woketh and then go completely broketh. It's one of my my favorite things to rag on. But why do I have this picture of Antiques Roadshow up? Because they actually are getting better ratings on the BBC than Doctor Who. So I'm not going after Antique Roadshow. Maybe you like that show, and if you do, that's great. I don't have a problem with Antique Roadshow. The point of the video is to point out that Antique Roadshow beat out Doctor Who's season final in ratings. It's actually a very interesting story. So the season 12 final of Doctor Who saw a slight uptick in ratings, but the bigger picture is the fact that viewers in the UK avoided the episode in droves. Sunday's episode of Doctor Who, The Timeless Children, saw 3.78 million viewers tune in, but what is especially troublesome for the BBC is the fact that the shows preceding Doctor Who and following both had a higher amount of viewers, all in the same range. So that means literally people were watching TV, turned it off, and then turned it back on. They came back. Or, you know, maybe just more people tuned in. It could be coincidental, but given the history of getting woke and going broke, I highly doubt it. More people are starting to turn this show off every single week. So, prior to Doctor Who, saw Country File with 4.44 million viewers, and following Doctor Who with Antiques Roadshow with 4.41 million. So I think that that's pretty significant. This show is in a lot of trouble. It's going in really weird directions. They keep retconning stuff that's really important to people. Like I've said in previous videos, I'm not a Doctor Who fan, but I respect the love people have for it. This is a very loved show for a lot of people, and it's being completely ran down into the toilet because they want to shoehorn in an absurd amount of wokeness. The show has pretty much gone into the toilet. Now, according to Neurotic, he's been hearing that they're actually going to retcon Doctor Who in a big way and indicate slightly, vaguely, that the very first Doctor was a lady and that there was a whole regeneration cycle that we don't know. So basically, I guess Doctor Who has infinite regeneration cycles. People are pretty upset. We got some reviews down here that we'll go over too, but the show's a mess and it's going to continue to see losses, and I don't see it changing unless they change the way that they're running around with this stuff. But according to Chris Chibnall, and I discussed this in my last video, they're very proud of what they're doing over at the BBC, and they have a duty and an obligation to get super woke and put that before money and any other kinds of bad PR. So they are dedicated to this, and that's why this isn't going to change. This is why Whittaker's coming back for another season. This is why they're doubling down, because they see this as a moral obligation to improve the shows for woke reasons. It's really kind of ridiculous. And what's really funny is the BBC is, from what I understand, taxpayer funded. So they're just going to keep taking money from the taxpayers over in Britain. They don't give a damn. When you have it set up like that, what reason do you have to make sure that the fans are happy? You don't have to care. You could just keep making the show and charging people for it. It's a very, very unfortunate situation that you guys find yourselves in if you're fans of this show. It's like, well, what do we care if the ratings drop? It's not like we need a profit. So let's get back to the topic here. So 600K viewers have pretty much ran off. The BBC has pretty much came out and tried to defend the series and say, oh, what even is woke? Then we have the quote here, and I covered this in a previous video. One of the heads of BBC says, you know, I don't like it when people say they don't like woke stuff. What does that even mean? And then he went on a big, rant about how the BBC has a moral obligation to pretty much be woke. So But he's coming out again, says that the series is healthy and, it's all good. Viewership may have declined, but, because it's doing good editorially, who cares? We don't really need viewers anyway. We're just going to take your tax money. Then there was also the whole funny stuff with Rotten Tomatoes. They've erased that score like 3 or 4 times, and it just keeps coming back. I guess right now it's at 17%. So they keep erasing them, and people keep coming back and re-rating it because it's trash. Fans not happy with Doctor Who Season 12. Got like a quote like this is very nice. "I'm bored with Doctor Who. I can't believe I'm bored with Doctor Who. This was my favorite show when I used to reserve time in my schedule to watch it when it aired. Now I have to force myself to sit through an episode, and I'm half a season behind. The writing is just abysmal," said Rotten Tomatoes user RSL after Sunday's episode. And there's also this fun little quote here. "The problem with the show is not the Doctor, it's the writing. It lacks substance. There is so much potential here, but the writers don't know who about who," said George L. "Not sure I can think of a show that has gone so downhill so quickly in the history of TV," said Larry M. So like I said in my last video when I talked about Doctor Who, this show's been on so long that I think some people just watch it to watch it. It's kind of like The Simpsons, right? The Simpsons have been on for like 30 years. Everyone knows The Simpsons sucks. But I think a lot of people still just sit there and watch it just because there's nothing else on. Because they do still have a couple million people watching this show, but there's just a constant decline in the viewers. I don't see with the production values of the show how it's profitable anymore because I'm sure the merchandise isn't moving as well. And from what Nerdrotic and Doomcock have all said on their shows, the American audience for this show is pretty much gone, which they absolutely depend on for this show to make money. So, what happens with Doctor Who, I don't know. We are getting another season of this show, guaranteed. So we'll see what happens, but I wonder, will they double down, take out Jodie, regenerate, it'll be another lady, or do they just end the show? Is there so much damage now to the show that they just end it? I mean, Antique Roadshow is now more watched than Doctor Who. So what are you going to do? I find this entertaining, but, it sucks for the fans out there that really love this show, that love these characters. It's terrible for them, and I feel bad for them because, just about everybody in nerddom and geek stuff now has something they can relate to because it seems like just about every single franchise has been taken and ruined now with this woke garbage. It's really, really sad. Anyway, that's it. Leave me your thoughts. What do you hate about Doctor Who? What is something that's really bothered you about this season if you've been watching it? What's been bothering you about the show for the past 2 seasons? Or there's been 3 seasons with old Jodie here. Let me know. What has bothered you the most? I'd like to read it in the comments. Also, share the video. Throw a like up if you would. Make sure you got that notification bell hit. Make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that and subscribe if you're new.